let's get right into it, as Nesquik says.
Hello, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
My name is Tammy, and I want to go to Nigeria in March to marry my fiancé.
Mm-hmm.
But I am on disability and Social Security. Would that affect me
Well,
in any kind of way?
it doesn't affect you in terms of applying for him because it's disability is not need-based. It's based on the fact that you're not able to work anymore. But that's not a public charge issue. You may need a second affidavit of support from somebody else, but that's not a public charge issue.
Okay, so I can marry him?
Mm-hmm.
I can. Oh, okay, good. Hey, y'all clap for me. I'm going to get married.
All right. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you so much. You're a first timer.
Okay. My
Bye-bye.
pleasure. All right. Let's go to Junia in Syracuse. Junia.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
How you doing?
Hi, how you doing? My name is Dorina.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm a petitioner for my husband. I'm a citizen. He's not. But if I'm on probation, can I still petition for him?
If you're what?
If I'm on probation.
You're on probation. What are you on probation for?
Well, I was arrested for a felony, but I plead guilty to a misdemeanor. So they have it as a misdemeanor for probation.
As long as it's not a sex offense with a minor, it's perfectly fine.
Okay, and how about, so I could petition, I could fill out all the documentation?
Do everything, absolutely. Now, now I'll tell you, when you go to your probation officer, I hope you tell him that you're married, you're in love, and, because you got to fill him in what's going on in your life. Because, because what's going to happen is immigration is going to call your probation officer, and they're going to say, Jarina, is she married? What's going on with this man? And the probation officer is going to either, verify that it's a good marriage or this is BS.
But now, how can immigration contact them? Is it when he goes to his interview, or?
Yeah, or before. You never know.
But how would they know? They don't ask any questions on any of the forms.
I understand, but somehow they seem to know. I years ago, I'll tell you a story.
Okay.
Years ago, I don't go on the interviews anymore. I'm going back 20. This happened maybe 25 years ago. I went on an interview with somebody when I was a young lawyer, and the petitioner was on probation. He was a man, and the officer. I walked in, and the officer says, "You're not in a real marriage." I go, "What are you talking about? You didn't even sit them down yet."
Wow.
And I start, freaking out on the guy. And the officer says, well, I just got off the phone with so-and-so's probation officer, who's the U.S. citizen. And the probation officer says, and I said, by the way, I have so-and-so coming down with his wife right now for an adjustment interview. Can you tell me a little about this couple? And the probation officer allegedly told the immigration officer, I'm very surprised he's married. And the probation officer said, why do you say that? And he goes, because he's a known homosexual. Why is he married to a woman? So, they know. That's my answer.
So once I tell my probation officer, should I let him know he's from another country? Should I tell him all?
Yeah, why not?
But they're not going to deport him for any reason, right?
They shouldn't.
Okay, because I don't want that in effect.
I don't want that either, but you got to tell the truth. That's all.
Yep.
Right.
So I should tell my probation officer, and then because they don't ask in any of the forms, the I-30, the I-38, any of it.
Okay.
Now, will they ask him in his interview, have your spouse or have your wife has been convicted of a crime? Would I have to show proof of that in the interview?
They may ask him about that, to know that you guys are close and discuss those things. It's possible.
Would I have to show him proof or give them copies of the criminal record?
No.
Oh, okay, but they'll ask him just so he knows.
It's possible.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So that was my main question.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Good night. Thank you.
Night. All right. Let's go to Isa in Atlanta, Georgia. Isa.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good afternoon. Yeah, I'm okay. How about yourself?
Good. What's going on?
Yeah. How's one question for you? Yeah. I've been married, signed September 1st, 2018, and I have an RFE October, and I respond to that in December. But since that, I have my work permit. But since that, I didn't have my interview yet. So it's been 2 years. I've been married, but nothing yet.
When did you respond to the RFE?
December 12th.
Of 2019?
Yes.
So when you responded to the RFE in December 2019, that's actually when your application really started. So you got to give them at least a year to schedule it. So my guess is sometime over the winter you'll be scheduled.
Sometime winter.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm eligible for permanent 10-year green card.
You're going to get a 10-year green card because you're married for more than 2 years.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go to Candace in Brooklyn. Candace.
Hi, good evening, Brad.
Hi,
how are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing well. I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
The first question is, if my husband is filing for his citizenship on, he said 90 days prior to the application, to his 90 days prior to the eligibility of the 3 year. If he is filing for his mom, does he have to wait until he's a citizen?
Yes.
Or?
There's no or.
Okay.
He has to wait until he's a citizen.
So he cannot put the paperwork in now and then revise it, or?
No, he has to wait until he's a citizen.
Okay. Another question is, what about if he has I have my almost 1 year old baby. So, what about if he has
I remember
his
those
niece?
days. I remember those days of like, I don't want those days again.
No, man,
They're
that's
cute. They're
precious
cute.
time.
They're cute, but oh.
Okay, so he had his niece. His niece is 12.
All right.
We wanted to find out the process of possibly him adopting her.
Where is she?
But I do remember.
Where is she?
She's in Jamaica.
Okay.
She is in Jamaica. She's 12.
All right. So let me give you a little advice. If he goes down to Jamaica and adopts the niece, she will never get here. The only way you're going to get that niece here is to prove she's an orphan. No mom, no dad. Either mom and dad have deceased, mom and dad have abandoned the child, mom and dad have neglected the child. It's one of those three. If mom and dad are alive, then you're going to base it on neglect or abandonment, then you need to strip the mother and father of their parental rights in Jamaica. Show that they're bad children, bad parents. If you go and get a consent from the parents, that's not an orphan anymore. And then so once the child is an orphan, then you can do what's called a pre-adoption in your local county court, where you ask a judge, if I bring this orphan into your courtroom, will you sign an adoption? And that's the pre-adoption.
Got it.
And then once you have the pre-adoption and you have an orphan, then you can file the papers, the orphan petition, to bring the child to America.
Okay, so I completely understand. But where I just have another question is, so suppose if the mom and the father, they're not absentee, or they're not terrible parents. Like
then the child's not an orphan. You can't do it.
Then I can't do it. Now, when you say that they strip them of their rights, do they get in trouble, or is it like repercussions of them doing that in the native country of any sort?
I mean, I don't know. I never heard anything that people get in trouble in Jamaica, but I have no idea.
Okay. All right. And another last question. My last question is, and I kind of know the answer. I just want to know, if a couple, if a man and a woman is married, the wife says she wants a divorce after 1.5 years of marriage. They are in a bona fide marriage. However, they have not filed any paperwork. The guy's just crap out of luck, right?
Crap out of luck, unless there's abuse.
Unless there's abuse. Okay, Brad, thank you so much, and have a great night.
Take care, Candace.
Okay, bye-bye.
Right. Crap out of luck. All right, let's go to Kathy in Roxbury, Massachusetts. Kathy.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Good, and you?
Good.
Okay. My questions are the following. My daughter qualified to get food stamps, but she's under 18. I have to be the one that apply for her. If I apply for her, would that affect my immigration status? Do the public charge?
No.
I file for adjustment of status.
No.
Okay, because they will say it's my name. I am the one that.
Yeah, I know,
can
but
apply
the
for
food stamps are for a child under 18. It's okay.
Okay, and also, does public charge affect people that have the 2-year green card
No.
when applying for food stamp?
No.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Let's go to Tawa in Atlanta, Georgia. Tawa.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Brad?
Good. What's going on?
Brad, my son is in the U.S. military and has applied for a green card for me. My I-130 have been approved, and actually, I'm not in Atlanta. I'm in Montreal, Canada.
Okay.
And my question is that part of the documents that I'm supposed to be submitting are security clearance for all countries I have stayed in. But I have not stayed in some of these countries for over 30 years. Do I still need to get a police clearance from those?
Any place that you resided for more than 6 months over the age of 16, you need a police clearance.
So I still need to do it. Okay. Okay. And then I believe, yes. And then let me ask another question.
Sure.
Are there any delays right now in issuing visa interview outside the U.S.?
Of course. Trump is trying to stop immigration. Of course, there's delays everywhere.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Okay. Thanks, Brad. I appreciate it.
All right. Good luck. All right. Let's go to Biobun in Randallstown, Maryland. Biobun.
Yeah. Good evening. Thanks for calling. I'm a first caller.
Okay.
Yeah. So I do. I was married. I'm still married, and my wife put in my 2 years green card for me. Then after she reported me to immigration.
Why?
And
why did she report you to immigration?
She said she think I have an intent to use her for green card. So immigration called her for interview and all of that, and they asked her she collect money from me. She said no. She said, so why does she think I want to use her for green card? She said she's upset with me and she think I want to use her for green card and all of that. So they said she's going to divorce me and all of that. That's what they concluded. So after her, we put in the I-751. We were called for the I-751 interview. And when we are separated, our lawyer went with us. They separated us. And she debunked everything that, as at that time, she was upset with me. And that was why she said what she said previously, that they should just remove the condition on my green card.
So what you're saying, let me just get this straight. There was a time when your wife went to immigration and said you married her for something other than love. Immigration interviewed her. This is after you got your green card. And she said, no, it's really for love. I just kind of mad at him. And then you continued the case. You went for your I-751 interview, and she said the same thing twice now.
No. So she said she was upset. That was why she said that.
Okay, where are you at now? What happened?
So right now, I've put in my N400. And
you have your permanent green card?
Yes, so I have my 2 years permanent green card.
2 year or 10 year?
2. I have 2 years. So now
I'm lost on your story because I thought you already had the 2 years and you went to remove the conditions. But all right, so why are you filing for your citizenship?
So they said I can file.
No, you have to remove the conditions first, especially when you're in a situation where your wife is claiming business marriage. There's no way in the world you're going to become a citizen. Remove the conditions first.
Okay, so I mean, we are called for the I-751 interview. So she said she was upset with me.
I heard all of this already. What is your question?
My question is, what is the situation surrounding my case right now?
The situation is you got a crazy wife who's claiming it's a business marriage, and you got to prove it's a real marriage. That's what your situation is.
Okay.
So I don't know. I wasn't there on the interview, but for you to go file citizenship, that's dumb. You got to remove the conditions first. Prove it's a real marriage. Now, obviously, your wife could be lying up, down, and center. You got to prove it.
Okay.
All right. So I don't know. You said you're with a lawyer. What's your lawyer saying? If not, have a consultation with me. Hold on. Let's go to Damien in Atlanta, Georgia. Damien.
Hey, Brad. How are you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing great. I have a situation here. I just need your opinion. My daughter is in Jamaica, and I got my green card, my 10-year green card, 1 year now. My wife had filed a divorce. So she's in a bad situation there where I would like to have her here. She have a visiting visa. Is it best for me to let her come here and start her filing here, or let her?
How old is she?
She's just 12.
Okay. So right now, priority dates are current for F2A applicants. I assume you're going to be the one filing for her.
Yeah.
If your daughter was to come up and visit, hypothetically, and hypothetically after 90 days you got this great idea to go file an adjustment for her, you would be able to do that. If, hypothetically, this is all hypothetical, if your idea is to bring her up to get her a green card here, now you're committing immigration fraud.
Okay.
Right,
yeah, I understand you.
So, watch. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.